Welcome to ThinkTech, raising public awareness about energy, diversity, globalization, and I missed one, technology. This show is Center Stage. I'm your host, Donna Blanchard, very proud managing director of Kumukuhua Theater, and we are coming to you live from Pioneer Plaza in the heart of downtown Honolulu. Please remember that our shows are broadcast on ThinkTechHawaii.com every weekday, and they are live streamed on Ustream.tv and Spreaker.com. And if you're interested in any of our archived shows, you can find them all on ThinkTechHawaii.com. I am very excited to bring to you my guest today. His name is Colin Andrew Wood, and he is an extraordinary artist I'm anxious to introduce you to. He believes that art is an illumination of the body and mind to the greatest depths of imagination, boundless intellectual freedom, and the most carnal manifestations of emotions and feelings. He's developed a style infused with the structure of an architect, yet the organic freedom of nature. Simply complex in its natural attributes, Colin's art takes on an organic feel that mimics nature in its purest form. Please meet Colin Andrew Wood.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you
Appreciate it.
so much for being here. I have to tell you my story about how I found you. I was on Facebook one night, and you have the little scroll over on the right-hand side, and one of my friends had accepted an invitation to a Caleb Shinobi show, but the shot that he showed was of you and one of your models.
Oh, cool.
And I saw that and was so curious. I love that you can totally spy on people and find out what's going on. So I started clicking, and I just said, well, I have to go to that show. I went to that show because of you,
Oh,
Colin.
that's amazing. I didn't know that.
I was just absolutely fascinated because Colin's canvas was female bodies.
Yep. Yep, that's what I do.
I'd never seen anything like that before, and the first shot that I saw was a woman that looked like she was wearing a bustier. And clearly you were painting this on.
Yeah, that's the challenge in itself, just trying to make it as real as possible. And that latex really allows that to happen with its texture.
So it's like a latex pen?
Actually, there's a tub of latex that I have. They have all different colors, and I just paint that on first, knowing that that's going to be the structure of it. And then I'll go over with paint pen over that, because there's a separation between the skin and the pen. And then I'll do all the details, and that's kind of what you see with all the laces, and I put gemstones and things like that on there as well to kind of make it more real. So.
And we are going to see one. You brought your friend Liz, so there's good reason to stick around for the rest of the show, because Liz is a lovely painted woman sitting here in the studio right now. Oh, and you can't today, you missed your chance, but if you'd ever like to join us in our downtown studio, email jay@thinktechhawaii.com. You might want to consider that for the future. So I cannot tell you how many artists I've had on this show, and artists who are filmmakers and actors, as well as painters and sculptors who have architecture in their background. Writers with architecture in their background. Your father is an architect?
He was an architect, So growing up, I pretty much had, my play area was in his architecture office, and I had all these utensils or these tools to use as much as I wanted. So I had the architecture office, and then I had outside in this jungle, wilderness that I had that I could play with the nature, and then just putting both of those together with my artwork really kind of blended to, what became what it is now. So.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and show this.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach over here and grab this. This is one of your boards. We'll put it across both of us. Is that good, Ian?
Yeah.
Okay. There. So you have, I see the architecture as well as the nature in here. Let's move it down a little bit so we can see your face while you talk. There you go. So you have this mandala-like quality in that piece, which, and I apologize, you can't see, there's a beautiful green in here that isn't coming up because of the green screen on which we work. But What brought you to do this sort of work? When did this start?
I don't know. I guess it comes to not paying attention in school and just doodling on my piece of paper, I guess. That's probably where it all started. And I just found that within nature and architecture, there's so much repetition that really draws the eye to it. And I tried to start doing that, and I just kept getting smaller and smaller and getting more details. And it's very time consuming, but the product turns out really nice.
So you do have, over on this side, what is this curve called? The
Nautilus, or like a Fibonacci sequence.
Fibonacci, that's
Yeah.
what I was trying to think, that multiplies
Yeah.
itself as it comes around.
Yeah.
That's repeated over and over again in nature, and so soothing to the eye.
It is,
to
yeah.
look at it.
Yeah.
Compared to all of this is almost tribal.
Yeah, I was trying to do a little bit of a juxtaposition between different cultures as well. You kind of have an Indian culture here, and then a Polynesian culture there. Just kind of, mix it up a little bit. I like to do that. I follow a lot of native tribes and their artwork, and kind of mix them together sometimes. It just works. So.
Do you? Okay, we can put this back now. Thank you.
Back. Yeah.
With the tribal work that you do you know people that you're talking to recognize? I don't know. Are you saying anything with that? Is there anything said in there?
Sometimes there is. I do some symbology, some symbolism in that. But a lot of it's just kind of when I'm doing artwork. A lot of times I don't think about it. I'm just actually just creating as I go. But if I want a certain feel for it, then I'll put in certain shapes that kind of portray that emotion that I'm trying to convey. So yeah, with this one, it's completely just pattern work. But a lot of my other pieces, I do put some symbolism in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let's. Before I get too scattered, because see, I'm really excited about what you do.
Yeah.
Right now, do you support yourself with your art? Are you able to?
I try to as much as possible, but I do have a restaurant job as well to kind of keep me above water. But yeah, I try as hard as I can to pay my rent with pure art, which is great.
Yeah.
It's almost sustainable. It's almost there.
Almost there. Okay, and that is painting surfboards and.
Yeah, and
what
canvas
else?
work. I do body painting for certain gigs and stuff. So a lot of people will just contact me on Facebook and ask me to do a piece for them. And I'll just ask kind of what they need, and I'll just do it and send it off. But Facebook has been just amazing for my career, actually, and getting my name out there in pictures, and people from around the world are now collecting my stuff. So.
Oh, awesome! And that's artist Colin Andrew Wood.
Yes, or Colin Andrew Wood with one L on Facebook, or on Instagram, Colin Andrew Wood.
So the body paint, though, when you're doing that for gigs, how often do you get an opportunity to do that?
It's usually once a month now. It used to be upwards of 4 to 5 when I first started, but I've been so busy with work that it's kind of eaten into that. But yeah, it's fun to do. I kind of can pick and choose now which different events that I want to do and stuff. So,
oh, nice.
So.
Ian, in those images that you have, could you try to find some of the Caleb working with his models? Oh, there's one. Let's bring that one up. So what this woman is wearing is latex first, and then you come in with the pens that are acrylic, did you say?
It's kind of like a spray paint type paint. It's a xylene base, so it's an alcohol base. So basically, it's like an oil, I guess. You can't put it directly on the skin, so I have to plan everything out beforehand so I can keep that separation between the skin and the pen. So that's why I put the latex down first.
And how long does that last? What's the shelf life?
Well, it really depends. If you're dancing, go-going, you're sweating, so it's from below, it kind of will pop up. But I've found that eyelash glue and things like that help, on the fly when you need to do that. The body painting I'm going to be bringing on later is all body makeup, so it doesn't act the same way. So if you put some water on it, it'll completely come off.
Oh, okay.
So different properties to different things, different body paint styles that I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The latex pieces like that we were looking at, when it's time to take that off, does it more or less peel off?
Yeah, it's just like rubber cement on your arm or something. It just peels right off.
Oh.
You know, so it's pretty easy.
So it's like getting a facial too.
Yeah,
when
you know,
pull
you
it
don't really
off.
end up with much hair after that. And yeah, after a gig, you just pull it right off, and a lot of people will save them. You know, put them up on their wall. So.
I totally would. What made you initially, and I have to laugh because I think when you're painting on a body, the landscape can change.
Yes.
You know, you lay down.
For sure.
Maybe not on your
Yeah.
young nubile models, but you know, the landscape changes at least to some extent, whether they're laying down or standing up.
Yeah, I definitely learned that the hard way. So when you have a larger chested woman laying on her back, she once she gets up, the latex paint will start to wrinkle quite a bit, and it doesn't look very flattering.
Yeah.
So I started painting them standing up first, and then once I get that latex down, then I'll lay them down and do detail work after that.
So when was the first time you decided, I'm going to paint a woman's body?
Well, I think I might have put a picture on there as well of a girl with a surfboard. Sarah Anslow actually contacted me and saw that I had painted this and said, hey, I have a model that wants to be painted with it. Would you want to do that? I'm like, sure, why not? You know, it sounds great. So that was the first body painting I did. And from then on, I just started getting people calling me up saying they wanted to be painted. So just a fluke. It wasn't even anything that I really chose to do. It was just something that came about.
How long ago was that?
Maybe about 2 years ago. Like that.
Very
so
recently.
Pretty recent, yeah.
And you had to figure out the process to do it, or had this already been developed?
I didn't even know what to do, what to get. So I kind of developed, I paint more with pens, as you can see. So I wanted to find a way where I could actually draw on the girl with the pen, but the pen was toxic. So I was like, why not put latex to keep it separated? So I don't know if I developed that style, but I mean, it works for what I do. So.
Do you know of anyone who's copied that style, or have other artists approached you about how you do it?
No, not that I know of. Most of the artists are airbrush or the body makeup style right now. So, yeah, kind of have my own little thing going.
You're a pioneer.
I guess so.
And now we just gave away your secret. Sorry.
Darn. It's okay. I invite the competition. It builds
okay.
the art for sure.
So how did you, you know what, we should probably go to a break here. This is a good place to break. We're going to come back, we're going to bring Liz on and take a look at the work and also talk about a little bit more about your background, Colin. We'll be right back. This is Center Stage on ThinkTechHawaii.com. Be right back.
Hello, I'm Martin Despang, and I'm the host together with the one and only Ali Yamashita, and our show is called Urban Transcendence. And Urban Transcendence is about identifying where we have a unique situation of a vibrant city in one of the most beautiful natural environments. So how these two can coincide, sometimes conflict, how they could find reciprocity in the 21st century is what we're excited about. And we're planning on bringing in a diverse body of guests, both from the arts and the science and the established and the wise and the emerging generation. So hope you will join us. We'll always be on Thursdays from 1 to 2 p.m.
Hi, my name is Dr. Rafi. Every week I'm right here at ThinkTech Hawaii, 3 p.m. on Mondays. My show is Boards' Bio Briefings. What do we do here? Well, we watch sperm swim, we see if they catch anybody, we check out the latest biosimilars, you know, the kind that, what was his name, the guy with the bicycle? I guess we forgot his name, but he was taking EPO and other human growth factors. We'll be talking about human growth factors. You want to know where to get some? Maybe I'll tell. Anyway, you can catch me, as I said, every week right here, Monday, 3 p.m., ThinkTech Hawaii, Dr. Rafi. You can also find me on Twitter, BioInfoMedical. Or you can catch me on Facebook, Dr. Rafael Boritzer. I'll be happy to converse with you. Aloha.
I'm Jay Fidel. That's Sharon Moriwaki of the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum. And every Wednesday we have Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy. We've been doing it for some time now, and we have some fantastic guests on there, unbelievable guests who give us insight into what is going on in a very complex, sometimes very confusing, sometimes very disappointing area of progress in the state. So we love doing this. We love meeting them. We love talking to them. We love having their ideas out on the table. So maybe, just maybe, we can all make some sense of what's going on. Sharon, what do you think?
I think it's absolutely correct. We enjoy ourselves meeting with all these people and hearing about the energy and the state of clean energy, and hopefully we advance clean energy for the state. So it's terrific. Join us.
Okay, it's every Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday is Energy Day. Every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, here on ThinkTech Hawaii. We'll see you there.
Hi, welcome back. This is Center Stage on the ThinkTech Hawaii digital series. I'm your host, Donna Blanchard, proud managing director of Kumukuhui Theater, and I am joined by artist Colin Andrew Wood and now Liz. Liz, I didn't even ask your last name. Emil. Liz Emil is joining us, and Liz has been painted with a body makeup by Colin, and I don't know how well you can see that. I'm sure there are a lot of people getting very close to their computer screens right now. Liz is wearing a couple of piercings and a panty, a bathing suit bottom, and paint, makeup, you call it. And
Either one.
this is the stuff that will wash off with soap and water.
Yeah, it's just soap and water, and it comes right off. So it was a hot day out there today coming here, so we tried not to get it rubbed off, but it made it.
Okay, yeah. So when you have a design, and thank you, Liz, so very much for being our model and for standing there in all of your glory while we talk about your body and what's on it. Very nice, by the way. For the design that you have on Liz, is this something that you draft ahead of time? This is where you want to go? Or?
No, I completely had a different idea in mind before she came over. And then she put on these bottoms, and I really love the lines to them, so I pretty much just went with that for the inspiration of it. And from there, it just kind of happened. So yeah, I didn't really plan much. I just kind of went for it, yeah.
And how long did this take?
About 2.5 hours, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you did. I really appreciate that you did this for the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Normally, when you do something like this, like, what are you going to do after? Do you go somewhere in this, or are you just going to take a shower?
Yeah.
It's not. You can't really go show it off too many places.
You really can't. I mean, that's why I just do them for clubs and things like that. So you go out and you show it off and have fun with it. But doing the day ones, it's pretty much just go home and take it off. Get some pictures. But other than that, it's temporary art.
Okay.
So.
Liz, do you mind holding a mic? Do you mind if I ask you some questions?
Sure.
Okay. So you said that you have done this before. You have experience with the body paint that makeup you've put on yourself?
I usually paint models or go-go dancers too.
Oh, okay. And how
I've done it for several arts festivals. I've done it at a Rebirth Festival, Alchemize, and Burning Man.
Oh, okay. So you had seen it. How did you start doing that?
Well, the first time I did it was on the Big Island. For the Rebirth Festival, I got an art grant to buy a bunch of latex paint. And I did latex, but I don't do it his style. Mine was a little bit different. So every artist has their own way of doing it. And that was, like 5 years ago. We just kept doing it. It's just fun to try to be different than other people, So just be like me and my friends, or get together or be featured at the Aloha Music Projects events and stuff like that. Just to have living art and scantily clad women, of course, is always a good thing at your event.
Definitely.
It's a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And are you do you have like a corral of girls?
There's
Say it like that.
girls
Canvases?
Yeah, girls are always wanting to do it, so I'm not short of models. It's just picking the right model for the right event, actually. You know, when I start doing, if there's an event that requires a fire dancer, I'll contact that fire dancer, or she'll contact me, and we'll get her all painted up. So that, or go-go, or any sort of event that works best for them. So yeah.
I'm going to do this, okay? Don't mind me.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. And you're also a fire dancer, Liz. I saw you at that Shinobi show. That's pretty cool, too. What's your day job?
We work at the same restaurant, actually. We work at Kona Brewing Company.
Oh, my God, I love that place.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I love the Castaway IPA.
Oh, it just came out in bottles.
I'm so excited. Okay, if we've learned nothing else today. Fabulous. So are there like, do you work with the same girls often, or just?
I try to mix it up quite a bit. My girlfriend, I actually met her body painting, so I paint her more than others. But
you better.
Yeah, of course. But I also try to mix it up, you know, and keep it fresh. So, first time I painted Liz, actually. So.
Yeah, my first time. His girlfriend's my fire dancing partner for many years, so we do all kinds of firework together. So yeah, we've known each other for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Was she in the Shinobi show also? Is she the other one I saw?
She was not available for that one, so it was a different girl. But
okay, just wondering. And actually, the question goes to, there also must be some, you know, when I bring out a canvas and begin a new painting, I know the lay of the land.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So is there some of that goes along with using the same models?
That's one thing I really enjoy about body painting, is that every girl is different, obviously. So it's nice to be able to work with their figure, but also their personality in what comes of the body painting. So yeah, I talk to them before and kind of read them a little bit and find out who they are, and that's how the body painting kind of comes to life. So. Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool. So you usually just let it come from?
Yeah, I've never designed one beforehand. So I just kind of read them when they come to the painting session, and that's when it comes about.
And is 2.5 hours a usual?
Actually, it's more like 5 to 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So this was just a quick one to kind of show what I do. So.
There must be, and while we still have you standing there, and thank you for doing that. There's not only you get to know each other as you're going through this, but there has to be almost a connection that's formed doing it.
It really is. I try to make them as calm as possible. Obviously, you're going out in public with no top on, so you have to have a lot of respect for the model and be very professional, and that's probably why I've been doing so many of them, because I'm a professional. So once you get them all painted, there's this confidence that comes out in them, you know, going out on the town, feeling, you know, absolutely beautiful, and just owning it. So, yeah.
That's really cool.
But of course, you have to be comfortable in your body as well if you're going to be going around with nothing on.
Yeah.
But I think most people that would be interested in doing this are already comfortable with themselves as well, you know.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I've done a couple actually that aren't very comfortable with their body and wanted to get painted to break through that insecurity. So, and they said it's an amazing experience. So.
I bet it is, or it could be a nice gift to take home.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look what I did, honey.
Boyfriends like it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't even remember where I wanted to go with that. So after the experience, do you you have a lot of photos that we've gotten to see? All of your work is sort of mandala-esque in that it's fleeting.
Yeah.
Or most of your work. Even work on a surfboard, I would imagine, you know, if this is actually going to be used, can that actually be used?
It can. It's probably more of a wall hanger, to tell you the truth, but I'm thinking about getting some designs on some boards, just having them printed before the glass goes on, and having them be able to be reproduced and made for everyone to buy. So
okay.
Eventually I'll get there, but yeah, this is where I'm at right now.
So really the girls, that's the spirit of the mandala work. that you're doing now?
The girls, what do you mean?
The bodies.
The bodies?
Because it's fleeting.
Yeah, I mean, art is beautiful, and women are beautiful. Why not decorate, a beautiful woman? It's hand in hand, right? It's why not?
Why
I guess
not?
why not? Yeah.
I saw you had some pictures. I saw somewhere that you've done the male form as well.
Yes, I have.
And
yeah.
very strong.
Yeah, and I like doing those because it kind of shows a different aspect of my work, and it comes out more masculine. So that really shows you the model really kind of dictates the design that goes on them. So.
Okay, we're gonna give Liz a break. Ian, are we ready to go to another break? Are we good with that? Okay. We will be right back. This is Center Stage. Don't you love my show? On ThinkTechHawaii.com. We'll be right back.
I'm Jay Fidel. That's Sharon Moriwaki of the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum. And every Wednesday we have Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy. We've been doing it for some time now, and we have some fantastic guests on there, unbelievable guests who give us insight into what is going on in a very complex, sometimes very confusing, sometimes very disappointing area of progress in the state. So we love doing this. We love meeting them. We love talking to them. We love having their ideas out on the table. So maybe, just maybe, we can all make some sense of what's going on. Sharon, what do you think?
I think that's absolutely correct. We enjoy ourselves meeting with all these people and hearing about the energy and the state of clean energy, and hopefully we advance clean energy for the state. So it's terrific. Join us.
Okay, it's every Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday is Energy Day. Every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, here on ThinkTech Hawaii. We'll see you there.
Hi, we're back. This is Center Stage, formerly the Arts in Hawaii, just in case that's the show you're looking for. It's now called Center Stage on ThinkTechHawaii.com, and I am talking with artist Colin Andrew Wood, who you also do canvas work.
I do, yes.
And can you reach over?
Yeah, I got one over
grab
here.
One of those we can take a look at.
Here we go.
Have you ever painted yourself?
No, I mean, I've painted on my arm and stuff. I don't know if you can see that. But
I'll put it right. Okay, if we hold this, there. Now we get you and, oh, there's the Fibonacci.
Yeah, I like to work with that. It's just such a striking form to me. I see it in everything. That I would just walk down the street and I see the Nautilus, the Fibonacci sequence, and all the repetition and how beautiful it is. And it's just, I'm fascinated by it, as you can tell.
Obviously moved by it.
Yeah.
So this is acrylic?
This is all those paint pens that I was talking about. Same that I use on the body paint, actually. So they're Deco Color pens, if anybody's looking for them. Pretty much just, normally I'll lay down a coat first and then just go for it, but this is just a white canvas that just started with these two dots, and after that it just kind of came together.
And are you sketching this ahead of time, or are you letting this just flow?
No, this is pretty much just flow. To get this major line, I would just pencil that. Other than that, it's all just freehand. So.
Doggone it.
It's
Seriously?
a lot of hours, and I pretty much just painted on the floor ever since I started drawing and stuff, because it's hard to, because I have to rest my hand because it's so detailed that laying on my stomach and drawing with my face this far from it is probably the best thing that I've found for creating something like this. So not very good for my neck or back.
We
but,
can put this down.
Yeah, that,
well, it gives you, all of your work is physical.
It is, yeah. It's very taxing on the body for sure. But I try to focus on my posture and making sure that I'm, not slouching too much and hurting my back. So I make a conscious effort to do that.
So let's go back. You're a kid, and your dad's an architect, so you have his studio to play around, and you're fascinated with the Nautilus, and you start. Did you have art classes like in grade school?
Not really. I took a painting class one time, and that was the first time I painted, and probably the last time until like maybe a couple of years ago, to tell you the truth. I've always drawn. And what really happened, I think, was my brothers got video games. Video games were only two-player games, right? So I was the one outside. I'm the youngest of all my brothers, of 7 brothers. So I'm out there playing in the, the rainforest, or not the rainforest, but the woods out there, and just looking at insects and looking at plants and, figuring out how things work. And I don't know, that's just how it all started, I think.
I'm the youngest of 5.
Yeah, so you know.
Yeah. Usually by the time if you've got 5, the youngest is going to be an artist. Anything up 5 and under,
They get all the ratty clothes and the broken down car, and that's kind of the ingredients to an artist right there.
And sometimes the parents just kind of forget, like the older siblings always complain about they had all these rules and regulations, and I was like, oh yeah, there's a 5th one somewhere.
Yeah. My parents were always very involved with my life, but
nice.
They're always very supportive of my art, and that's probably one of the big reasons why I'm still doing it, is because they supported me so much. So.
Oh, very cool. And anyone else in the family involved in art?
Well, pretty much, I'd say 5 of them are very design, engineering, architecturally minded people. So not all artists per se, but are very good with their hands and working with wood and all sorts of different materials to create stuff. So I've kind of come from a line of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my parents, I wasn't neglected as a child.
Okay.
I'm not trying to say that, but
Yeah.
I had a lot of freedom.
Okay. Yeah.
Playing out in the woods, but I couldn't even remember the name Fibonacci. So
Yeah.
So you had an art class way back when in high school?
No,
What
that
going
was,
on
I must have been 5 or 6. I took an oil painting class and kind of found my niche and started painting these really cool landscapes. And after that, I didn't really do any painting for a while. I just started drawing and drawing as much as I could. For Christmas, my parents would buy me pencils and calligraphy sets and a bunch of materials to create with. And I just kind of went with it.
And did you know, when you get into high school and people start talking about where you're going to go to college, what are you going to do?
No, I didn't. And I was always told, my parents were, you're not going to make a lot of money being an artist, but if you're happy, then that's what you should do. So they definitely pushed school. They really did. And I went to school for 2 or 3 years. I went to KCC here and then back in Yakima, my hometown. But yeah, it's just something I love to do, and it makes me happy. So that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So when you are working on a piece, and by the way, Yakima grows some really nice Riesling grapes.
Yes, and a lot of hops. Apparently, it's like 90% of the world's hops grown there.
Oh.
So yeah, a lot of drinking going on.
Something about the humidity and the
so.
cool temperatures.
It's at the same latitude
there.
as France, I think, is what I've heard. The wine region of France.
Cool nights and hot days.
Rocky soil. So.
Okay, but we digress. Now
guess we're not
I want to go to
talking about
Yakima.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you recognized that art had power over you?
I guess not. I guess just losing track of time and staying up all night drawing and not even, thinking about it. It's just something that it takes control of me, and I love to do it so much. And if I can put forth a positive energy with my artwork and communicate with people in a positive way, that's even better. I mean, I have a voice with my artwork, so might as well use it. So.
How do you feel that you are affecting people with your art then? Is that where you're seeing?
I feel like it's very positive, and I'm glad it is, my style. And it's something that with repetition, I feel like people are kind of drawn to it. When someone looks at a flower, it's all repetition, or some really great architecture. It's all pretty much, set up for the eye to be drawn to it. And I feel like my art is, creating a positive emotion when they look at it. So I think that's kind of where I'm going with that.
I think it is too. I think there's a great deal of joy in your work, but there is also intrigue. I remember hearing on a, what's the show, Radiolab?
Yeah,
I love Radiolab.
Yeah.
They were talking about Ravel when he wrote Bolero. That is a repeating, 32 measures that repeats itself over and over and over again. That they actually think that he had some sort of illness that drove him to needing to satisfy that one repeating melody that was going through his head. He had to express it in as many ways as possible.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing you to him because your work has growth to it. You're not repeating the same theme over and over again. However, I think that for all of us, there is something in the sameness of that, the repeating wave or the Nautilus that is comforting.
Yeah, it's a comforting feeling to look at something and just be drawn into it and not have any feelings of anger or, you pretty much just, you don't think about anything else when you're looking at it. That's what's so great about it, is that you can change your emotion. If you're having a bad day, if you just look at it and just stare into it, it completely can change your whole mindset and make you happy, I guess, which is great. And I do it all the time. I'll just look at my artwork and just stare at it, and it actually makes me happy.
Oh, that is so
yeah.
cool. Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard an artist say that. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and that when you just lose time when you're working on it, that's what every artist that I've talked to has, that moment when they feel that they just get lost, and that you have to do this.
Yeah, the 10th hour, your back hurts, but you're still going for it. And you have to work the next morning, but you know what, you're on the roll. And with creativity, it's not always there. Sometimes you just have to take it while it's there. So a lot of times I'll just paint for 12 hours just because I have that urge to just keep going. Sometimes I don't have that, so I have to just grab it while it's there and use it as much as I can. So.
And I think I read in the information that you gave me, did you study Indian art, Indian and Middle Eastern art? Did you go out and seek that?
I pretty much just, I use Google. I go out and I find art from different tribes around the world, and I look at it and I dissect it and the meanings of certain shapes, and that's what really draws me into the whole process of creating these things, is finding symbolism in different cultures and putting it all into one, and it's like it's talking to you in different languages, but all communicating the same thing. So, yeah, so I think it all kind of just comes together.
There's different symbolism in the different symbols within the mandala mean different things? I know nothing about it.
They do, and I haven't done a lot of research on it actually, on the Indian symbols, but just from looking at the mandalas and loving the shapes and how they come together and how they interact with each other is kind of what draws me to it. But yeah, still very new at this whole art thing actually. I've only been doing this on canvas and boards for maybe 2.5 years, something like that. So always looking for knowledge.
So what you've just been doing it for about 2 years. What made that happen? What brought that about?
Well, my girlfriend and I broke up, and I had a lot of time on my hands and decided to just put my effort towards creating art and being happy, and what makes me happy is doing that. So that was the catalyst for me to start creating pieces and trying to get into shows, art shows, and eventually getting to the point where I created the board, which got me to doing body painting, which it all just kind of snowballed and ended up where I am right now.
My God.
Yeah.
I know countless stories of people who have suffered angst and personal torture that drove them to such great heights and turning points in their lives. I have a huge story that brought me here to Hawaii. When you look at it in the big picture, you have an opportunity to see a different frame around that period in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah? And then you can look back and thank the person who screwed you over and broke your heart.
Yeah, I try to take every situation, good or bad, and make the best of that, and use it as momentum to get you in a place that you're even happier than you were before. So if you're mad or depressed or sad, do something that completely counters that and pushes you to be a happier and in a better spot than you were before. And that's kind of what I do with my art. So.
That's very cool. What are you? Where are things going for you moving forward?
I don't know. I mean, I've been. My father just passed away, so I went home and come back, and I'm just now getting back into art again. And I would like to start making some products like designing bikinis or board shorts or shirts or hats, or getting involved with a surfboard company and doing that. And not doing original artwork all the time because that's taxing one piece after another, but being able to replicate it and get it out there to the common public. So,
are you looking at designing the fabric?
Yeah, I'd like to get into textiles
Very
and doing
cool.
that, but I'm still kind of researching that and trying to find people that would like to work with me. So, hopefully this might help. Anybody out there?
I wouldn't even know where to go. Check out. Well, okay, so they find you at.
At colinandrewwood.com, actually, if you want to find me. So,
I'm very sorry to hear about your father. That's, if it hasn't already, it's going to influence your
it
work,
has,
and
yeah.
that can be a very cool thing.
Yeah, and he was the reason why I got into art, because he was so artistic, and his architecture was so simple yet functional, which that's what I loved. And as you can see, it's complicated, my stuff, but it's also simple when you really look at it from back. So I took that as well from him. So I have this piece, actually, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah.
This the last piece, when I was taking care of my dad, I was drawing this, and it has a lot of architectural parts to it, and he would actually come and look over my shoulder while I was painting it and everything. So this piece means a lot to me.
It's beautiful, the Grecian.
Yeah, kind of mix that up a little bit, but I'm not finished with it yet, so I'll jump on it again. I have so many projects right now.
This is really amazing to me. This is freehand.
It's all freehand. What I would do is I'll use a ruler to get to that point and put a little mark where these points need to be, and then I'll draw the lines freehand. So the only tool I'm using is the ruler to get a certain distance from the middle.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, yeah, it's with the pen. The pen is all freehand. Before I did it with a pencil. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, it's really tough to get those straight lines every time in there. But that's what I love about it. It's a challenge.
My God. So this, it's crumbling here.
Yeah, I'm starting to kind of put that in. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, this piece is kind of monumental for you. This needs to continue.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And it's very cool. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before, with the plinths and the Grecian columns.
Yeah, it's something new I was playing with. Plus, the reason I went with the architectural theme is because I was taking care of my dad. I was with him, so I wanted to, commemorate that time that I was with him for the last piece that he saw me painting, or drawing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You sweet boy. So yeah, let's talk about that. My primary form of artistic expression is theater, so I am accustomed to art that is ephemeral. When you paint and draw, or these things can last a lifetime or several lifetimes. The body's, you paint the body and then it goes. Do you have, what are your emotions around that?
At first it was tough, actually, but when I step back and really look at it, I love the fact that it's temporary, and you're not creating something that, you're creating something that is beautiful, and it blooms only one time, and that's it. And that's kind of cool. I like the fact that it's only used for one day, one night, one reason, and then done. That's it. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. But so many pieces have been washed down the drain. Or pulled off and thrown in the garbage. But
it's very healthy of you. I've always felt that the beauty of theater, the import of it is what happens when you leave the theater, the audience as well as the artists involved. It's what you carry with you from a piece. And when I started painting, long after I gotten involved in theater, it was very difficult for me to finish. It is still very difficult for me to say, okay, now I'm done, I'm going to step away.
Yeah, that's tough for me too, for sure. I mean, as you can tell, I get really detailed, and sometimes I go a little overboard, but I have to step back all the time and figure out, you know, am I done or not? And that's a huge part of the growth of being an artist, is finding out, okay, look, don't touch it anymore. It's good. Don't touch it.
So you've only been actively doing this for the last 2 years. Do you feel there's a difference from when you started to now in when you feel you are done?
For sure, yeah. Pieces are not as jumbled now. I've grown so much in 2 years that I've learned when to just step back and let it be. You know, so it's kind of a cool process, you know, to get to that point. Maybe down the road it'll just be a couple lines. You know, it'll be so simplified that, you know.
That's exciting.
You know,
yeah, that's exciting too. How old are you? Can I ask?
29.
29. I really look forward to seeing more of you. I don't know that I could see more of Liz, but I'm looking forward to seeing more of her also. I'm looking forward to watching your career and seeing where you go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a newborn in the whole art thing. And I'm excited to have a whole life of creating artwork, and it'll never be perfect. I'll always be striving for being better and not being perfect. I don't want to be perfect.
No.
I'm a human. And that's what's kind of cool about mandalas too, is they look perfect, but when you really get in there, it's not. You know, and that's really exciting to me. Is that there's that human hand quality to it.
It's really beautiful. I thank you for coming down and for sharing the work, and thank you very much, Liz, for being here. I really appreciate you sharing everything with us. We're out of time and we need to wrap up. I appreciate you being here as well. Thank you for joining us center stage. And now I need to read a few things. Thank you to our stage manager, Marshall Collins, who is still over at the ThinkTech Talk right now. Thank you to our production manager, Ian Davidson, who is in my ear, our communications director, Chrissy Goffigan, and to Jay Fidel, who somehow manages to put it all together. Thank you very much for being here, and please join us next week on Center Stage. Bye.